Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast, everyone. We're traipsing across the finish line. That's right, it's the last episode of 2023. And we had a few changes come up. I was supposed to have a good friend of mine. We went to college together. She does amazing work in the film industry now. Her name is Melissa Loudy. And she was supposed to come on the show tonight and talk to me. I am not feeling great. So this is going to be our end of the year show. Producer Paul's in the back, and we have another special guest. They're both gonna come on in just a few minutes. But I do want to tell you guys. So I asked Melissa if we could postpone until next week. Start afresh. It's the new year. Let's have a good time, and we can really get into it. It's hard to get her on the show because she's usually off working in different huge movies, and I can't wait to hear stories from her. She is one of the hardest working filmmakers I've ever met. And I've had the pleasure of knowing her since we started school together. So she'll be on next week. We're going to have some great conversations there. And I'd really like to start doing that in the new year, is bringing on more professionals in the film industry that work maybe below the line, which is not. Do not look at that, if you don't understand the term, as a detriment to them in any way. It's just the classification of who works where. So the below the line crews, I think, are where the real heart of it is. And I'd love to talk to ADs. I love to talk to best boys. I love to talk to grips. I want to talk to everyone and really get into it and talk about life on film sets. So we'll get there. But I would love to hear from you. So if you're watching or you're listening, please send your information to thescenesnobs@gmail.com, and we'd love to talk to you. All right. But we have a great show for you tonight. I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather. But I have two great people here who are going to pick up the pace, and you're going to want to see them more anyway. But join in the comments. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite things in movies and TV from 2024. And we're going to talk about more stuff. Plus, I have reviews of Leave the World Behind and Dream Scenario. And I have a new mixed movie pick for you. So let's get started. I want to bring on producer Paul, who's been sitting in the back waiting for me. Producer Paul, what's up?
Just causing trouble as normal.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
I don't know. I think I got it from Scene Snobs website.
You go to snobsmerch.com. You can get one too.
It's nice looking charcoal. Goes with everything.
Oh man, I love it, dude. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining in. I hope your Christmas was great, and you're going into New Year's, and that's going to be great too. But
yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on for another show to hang out with me.
I hate that you're not feeling too well right after Christmas, but at least it held off, I guess, a little bit.
Oh no, it's been the last week. I was just like, I'm taking a break. So I haven't been as much online and such. I'm just kind of trudging through. I want to get out of 2023 into 2024 and see what kind of mess is there for me.
I'll be right there with you.
I know you will, buddy.
I'll bring a rain jacket and a shovel.
We have another friend of ours who's going to join us in the drudgery. Hopefully he'll be the shining star and he can pull us out of the drudgery. And that is the man himself from the shows Horror with Sir Sturdy and Popcorn and Pints, here to join and talk to us. The man, Sir Sturdy. What's up, buddy?
What's good, guys? How's it going? What's good,
Paul? Man.
Always a good day.
Before we get started, anybody who may be new to this, and if you are, you're going to want to check them out. Tell us about your shows.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Making sure. All right. I'll start off with the show that I co-host on, Popcorn and Pints, which shout out to my co-host James, Puerto Rican Chris, and Caucasian Chris. Listen, we separate their names for a reason. Race is the easiest way to do it. I know what you guys are thinking, last names and all that, but who wants to do that? That's stupid. That's boring. We want to do outside the. We had wheels called rice and beans, cheese and crackers, chicken and grits. So you know how we roll. We have fun. You want to get that camaraderie over there? You want to get that beautiful unity where we can crack jokes on each other, on each other's culture, just each other's cultures. We don't go outside of that. That's why we just did those wheels. You come over to Popcorn and Pints, you get that. You're going to get lots and lots of laughs. Only one tiny issue. You got to wait till 2024, but I promise you the first episode in 2024, and Mick already knows what we're doing, what we're kicking it off with. We're going. And we're going to hopefully, listen, here's the thing. We're going to hopefully piss a lot of people off, but also make a lot of people happy. And I'm only saying that just for what we're going to be discussing, what we're going to be reviewing and all what we're kicking it off with. I know there's lots and lots of fans of it, but lips are sealed till maybe the first, then I'll start dropping stuff. Lips are sealed to the first.
I cannot
And
wait
then
for that.
Horror with Search 30. I mean, if you guys don't know what that is, you guys have been under a rock for the past. January 1st will be 6 years. So I'll be doing an anniversary episode on January 1st. On January 31st, I jumped this date around, but January 31st, this Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, is when I'm going to be doing my list countdown. If you want to be a part of that, Mick, if you don't mind, I'm just going to tell people what they have to do. Out of the 4, you just have to have 3 out of the 4. So I'm doing top 5 streaming movies that came out in 2023, top 5 theater releases that came out in 2023, then top 5 overall. The rule with the overall has to be first time watch for you. I don't care when it came out. And that could also be from the other 2 lists. If it just it has to be your first time watch this year in 2023. And then final list, bottom 5 overall. And the same rules, top 5 overall. It's first time watch for you whenever this year. Doesn't matter when it came out. So as long as you have, I'll say your top 5 overall, bottom 5 overall, then either theatrical or streaming. And by theatrical, I don't mean you had to go to the theater to watch it. If you watch it at home, that still counts. It just
like if you watch Barbie in October, it still counts because it's theatrical, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I've watched them in theaters. It's just understand those are just theatrical releases. If you watch a theatrical releases from home, I get it. It still counts. So hey, if you did all 4, even better. And I'm doing top 5 and then 1 honorable mention. So just do 6. So 1 honorable mention.
I love that. I love how you separate the theater and the streaming. I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to compliment you on that because I didn't. I kept them all the same, just like movies here or there. And we'll get to our list in a second. But splitting that up, I really can't wait to hear what everybody's splits are because I've been interested to know what movies are actually better right now.
Exactly.
Who's producing better content, and I'd really, if everybody could, and I'm going to do that for myself, but like, if everybody could be like, where would this fall compared to the other ones?
You know what? Should it be swapped?
Oh, I definitely agree.
That'd
There's
be
a
a fun
bunch
list to
of
make.
them. Like I love the creator, and I'll talk about that today. But like to me, that did come out in theaters. But it's funny you say swap because I think if that came, and I understand why it came out in theaters. They were trying as an independent film, they're trying to make the money. I get it. But I feel like I wish that had come out in streaming because I bet you if that was on Netflix, that would have been movie of the year.
That's fair.
More people would have seen it. It was so like shoved into the corner. I guarantee you, wherever that falls, wherever it comes out first in streaming, it will be number 1.
That's fair. But yeah, basically, why I split those two lists up is basically what you just said because originally I had top best of 2023 overall, but then I'm like, it's going to be too much of a repeat as far as because then you may get some theatrical that's on the best of 2023 overall, then you may get those same movies over on the best of the overall year, and I don't want to have then at 3 times you're seeing the same. You know what I mean? I want to split it up a little bit more and open people's eyes more because it's like people they don't think of streaming. I feel like sometimes even in top 10 lists they only think of theatrical. They don't think of streaming, and I'm like, yo, the streaming is kicking ass. There's a movie I seen. It's not on my list because I think I don't remember when I watched it. But it's called The Stylist. It's over on Shudder. To me, if that came out in theaters, my God, because it was just so freaking like.
It was good. That was a good one. I remember that was when I found your show. That was one of the first ones I saw you do, and I saw it based on your review.
I love that freaking movie, and I only watched it one time. But I was just like, she is so crazy, psychotic, sick, just everything. Go watch The Stylist. Love it. Not a sponsor, but can be.
I want to ask Paul for you, and when you're doing your list, because I would say out of all my friends, even the podcasters I know, you two probably I see like going to the movies the most. And I know a lot. I don't go to the movies every week. Right. I can't sustain it because there's just so much going on. I would love to. That's just my lifestyle, and I'm not saying people can't do that. But watching you guys go, like it's like a barometer for me. Like, oh, they're going to see that, and because we have such similar tastes. Paul, when you're dividing up your lists, which I know you do, and you did for this show, Don't reveal anything yet, but like what is your parameters for like dividing up your list, like with Sturdy?
As far as what should be streaming, what should be in theater.
Let's go wise.
Just wanted to hit him.
Yeah,
so like well however you, when you're devising your lists for the year of what you've seen, like what, like for me, when I'm devising it and I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, cinematography is a big thing for me. You have to, if you have crappy cinematography, you can get away with it with a really great story and great acting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that either, because a lot of indie, that's the way it goes.
Right.
But if you're, so story's number one, cinematography is probably number two. I look at the technical side with the edits, and now I'm looking at it from a filmmaker's perspective, and I don't know if you do that as well, or because some people, even filmmakers, decide to turn it off and look at it from film fan perspective.
Right.
But when I do it, because I review it and talk about it here, it's a little different. I'm like, I need to focus on the technical, not just how it made me feel.
Right.
So for you, what is it? What are the parameters for you? Like, what do you look for to kind of base it on to go on your top lists?
So I kind of do go with the cinematography as well. I try to see if it's one that's meant to be seen, just to fill up, I guess, everything you can see. Because there's certainly movies you can watch on the TV and they still make you feel what you see and they still tell the good story, like you said. So a lot of times the dramas and rom-coms are the ones that I kind of neglect theater-wise more, just because you can still watch them at home and still get what's meant to come out of them. For me, horror, I need some good sound and I need great pictures. So those, for the most part, even if they fail, I need a theater because it's dark. It's hard to hear anything else except for it. It's nice having, 14 channels around you where it just adds an element to it. The audience helps me enjoy horror better, even if it's not necessarily a great one, just because if they're getting into it or they're getting tense, I kind of get a little tense too, just because they're tense. And I think action too. I feel like a lot of actions, such as, it didn't make my list, but I'll say Mission Impossible. I think those are meant to be seen in theater. They're fun to watch at home or rewatch at home, but I think those are meant to be big screen, big sounds. So that's kind of my parameter for the most part. A lot of times I do go off director too. If I see, there's certain musical scores done by certain individuals, I'll go see it at theater because it's gonna be better than my TV or my soundbar, unfortunately.
That's fair. You know what? I love it. And Sturdy, we've talked about this too, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Paul. But for me, like, yeah, when I watch a horror movie, if it has bad sound or bad editing, it's going to take me out. Sound is so important. We all know that. It's not like that's breaking down barriers here talking about it, but we all know that. But I don't hear it talked about enough. But I've heard you bring it up on your show, Sturdy. So I like that. I like that element. How the sound made you feel and such. And Paul, I really like that. That's like something you use to look towards it, because I do too. Like I added to the technical. Like to me, cinematography's a little bit out of it. Performances goes with directing hand in hand a lot of times, and depending on the director. Like if I'm watching a Chris Nolan movie, clearly cinematography and the directing go hand in hand. Right. But yeah, like so like though, but when the technical side, when I say editing, sound is definitely 100% in there. It needs to be, for sure. But you know what? Why don't we start our lists? Why don't we start with horror while we got the man here? And Sturdy, if you want to stick around, I mean, because we're going to share our list. I don't want you to share yours. I want everyone to go to your show and watch your list.
It's perfect.
You can comment on our list. How's that sound?
I like it. So. All right.
I was never going to make you put yours out for sure.
What do you guys have? Top 5 or top 10?
We have top 10s.
Top 10.
So our categories tonight are top 10 movies, top 10 shows, top 10 performances. You're going to hate that one, Sturdy. Top 10 movies to look forward to in 2024. Top 10 worst movies and top 10 horror. Now it's not in that order. We'll skip around, but that's the categories in a whole. So let's start with let's start with horror. Let's start at number 10 and count them down. And I want to see how close Paul and I are in ours. So because we have a lot of similar, but sometimes we go wildly out there. Like I'll hate something and he'll love it, or vice versa. So I'm excited for this. What's your number 10, Paul?
So I did my top 10 completely different. I thought it was overall top 10. So they're not all horror.
Overall,
yeah.
Movies in
Yeah,
general?
just movies that came out this year. Period. I didn't do them specific genre.
Oh,
I
okay.
messed up.
That's fine. That's fine.
Are you sure?
I can go through mine. That's not a
Go
problem.
through
We'll
yours.
come over here.
Yep.
All right. So number
That
10
was
for
fun.
me is Skinamarink.
Mm.
Love the cinematography. Love the sound. I mean, there's no editing. There's no. I mean, editing's pretty good. Like it's pretty simple, but to do it with the sound the way they do, it's not that simple. So it's more the sound editing side. But it was something that was different. It's an experiment, and I'm always gonna think very highly of experimental movies.
That's fair.
Not ones that enforce, like, to me, a Serbian film is not an experimental movie. You're a piece of shit. So, but a movie like this, it's like I don't like it. It gives me the willies because kids seem like they're in stress. Screws me up a little bit, but it is a horror movie. They were experimenting, and when you take that road, like I'm like, this is a pretty cool film for that fact.
That's fair.
So that's sort of where I was at. I looked at it more as an art piece film than anything.
Okay.
And that's why, like, it fits to me. I'm not saying it should break down any barriers, but I do think, especially technically, should probably be looked at. Number 9 is Megan. It's a better version of Child's Play remake. I thought they did a good job. It's not blowing me out of the water, but out of all the movies that came out last year, it definitely has a good story, good cinematography, the technical side. She's creepy as hell. And I liked Allison Williams in it. And I also like that she's becoming sort of a highbrow horror figure, the woman in that, because she was also in Get Out and a few other things. So,
and real quick, I love when that happens. Like when you see an actor and an actress and you're like, oh shoot, they were just in these other 3 horror movies, and you're like, oh, this is the route they're taking. And then you get to see their careers grow off. I'm like, oh, this is freaking awesome. This is what it must have felt like being like an adult in the 70s and 80s and seeing certain actors and actresses when they're in their first horror movies, and then you see where they are like now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking I love it.
I love that too. I'm glad you brought that up. But even like going one step further with this movie and Allison Williams and seeing, like, she reminds me of Adrienne Barbeau.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like kind of status in the acting world, like she wasn't like known as this huge star, but like she's beloved by horror fans, and she was in like highbrow horror movies of the 80s, 70s, and 80s. Like Swamp Thing was a huge production, you know, and so was, you know, The Fog may not have been, but she was fantastic in that, you know. So like I could see Allison Williams kind of following that and just being in more of these highbrow sort of streaming horror movies. So Daniel Gao, Master Shake, The Fog. It's a great movie. Fucking love it. All right. Number 8 on my list. I almost read it wrong. That's why I laughed. I did not laugh because this is on the list. I laughed because the one after this is going to make Sturdy cringe. It's The Blackening.
Yes.
The Blackening. And now I'm gonna let Paul talk about it live on the air. I really liked it. I thought it was a fun horror comedy, and I want to see sequel. I want to see multiple sequels.
I'm with you on the sequels, definitely. I want to be in some of them actually.
This is a better horror comedy than we've been seeing in a little while now, I think.
Agreed.
And I loved it so much that I think I'm going to move it to number. No, I see Paul's face as he's about to explode. Paul, why do you not like this movie?
I think it was too hyped up as a horror movie as far as what I saw it advertised as. So I didn't go. I knew it was going to be a comedy, but I didn't know it was going to be kind of strictly a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the jokes, they didn't land for me. I thought the timing was off. I thought they were kind of over the top. For me, it reminded me of Meet the Blacks, which I thought was a complete piece of garbage. It was just.
I have a question for you, Paul.
Are you a racist?
No. When you went to the movie, what mindset were you
in? Hoping it'd be a decent horror. I was looking.
No.
For like Scream or
what
like
mindset were you in?
I was I think I was sober. I was probably sober.
That's
where
your,
you
that's your problem. That's your problem right
That's
there.
All right, my bad.
that's a film you go in inebriated and you enjoy it and have some laughs.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why. That's the rule.
I will rewatch it inebriated just for you two.
I think
then-
that would I would actually like to see that experiment and see how you do with it, because I did too. I was like late one night, everybody was in bed, and I was inebriated with certain substances, and all the good ones. They all come from the earth, so
Yes.
they all come from the earth. It's okay, and it's legal. So, certain legal substances. So, and I watched it, and I'll tell you, all the way throughout, I found the horror side taken seriously and chilling, but it was so funny too. Like I was laughing throughout the entire time, and it was just so like that was like a really healthy mix for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be honest, when you make a movie like this, where you know there's a lot of comedy to it, the fact that, and to anybody, spoiler alert, the fact that everybody survives in the end, like a lot of people get mad about that, but I'm like, do you want to be the filmmaker who just killed off a black person in a movie called The Blackening? Now I'm on some Highlander shit. Now I'm in an immortal mode.
All right, I'll give you guys one spoiler about my list. The Blackening did not make it. I did find it hilarious, but it didn't make it. Not even my honorable mentions. Wow. But I didn't do a top 10 though either. If I did a top 10, it's a possibility. Top 10 theatrical possibility.
Oh yeah.
I only did a top 5.
In fact, I need to get going because we're spending too much time on this. So I'm going to gloss over this next one, but I do want to hear I want to hear what Paul thinks. Number 7, Renfield.
I did see it in theaters, believe it or not.
That made my list for top 10.
I think I gave it it's nowhere near my list, but I think on the review I gave it like a 5 or a 6.
I think that was higher. I think he deserves a lot of credit for fastening a Dracula together that was so much like Bela Lugosi, but also its own thing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it too sturdy. I do think that is my opinion, but you can all go back and see my review of it. Sturdy hates Nick Cage, and there's going to be a lot of Nick Cage talk tonight. So
yes, because he's on my actor list too for that movie.
He's in a lot of lists for me. He made a lot of movies this year, all great ones. No, so so I don't want to make this the Nick Cage hour, but number 6 for me is Knock on the Cabin.
Yep.
5 is Talk to Me.
Yep.
Which testament to Paul for that one, because you were actively like, I want your opinion. Yes. Number 4 is The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. If you haven't seen this movie, it is fantastic, and the acting in it is great.
Really?
Yeah, Sturdy, make this a part of your list. To watch, like to review, because it's such a good movie. Number 3 is Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I think it's one of the best slasher films to come out in a long time. And I really wish that the Scream films would take a note. If you're gonna, in fact, if I could fix the Scream franchise for a second, here's how you fix the Scream franchise: abandon all hope on everything else, and if you want to make it meta, do something completely new, basically copying it over, but in today's world, and just start over. Scream, go the same route, but make it an old folklore. Make the old movies an old folklore in this new town, and then just start anew. That's how you fix it. Enough with this already. Number 2 is Evil Dead Rise.
Yep.
Great film. Great horror film. And honestly, this other one I just watched recently, it blew me away. And Sturdy, I cannot wait for you to see this. Good Boy, Norwegian film. And Paul, I really want you to watch it too if you get a chance, because I'd like to hear what you think. I think it's one of those psychological horror films, not a thriller, a horror film, that lives up to like a level of like maybe a Silence of the Lambs or a Tusk or a something like along those lines, but it's so much more screwed up, and that's why it's number 1 on my list for this year.
Well, nice. I'll have to check that out.
I cannot wait for you guys to check that out. All right, I'm gonna
want to hear Mike.
Yes, I do.
Do you want to hear? Even though it's general, so it's not all horror.
Oh, well, I was going to
So-
save top 10 movies for last if you want to do that.
Okay, then yeah, I will wait.
Yeah. Hold on a minute because I want to trade off with you. Did you do shows?
I did do shows. Yes, I did, but
Okay.
they weren't horror shows. They're just shows in general.
And you did.
Can I do it?
That's
Can
fine.
I do a quick
I did too.
read off of movies I plan on, just in case you each? I'll say give me if you want to give me 2 more movies. I already have quite a few to read off because these are the ones I want to read off just to see if they're gonna make any of my lists.
Okay.
As far as streaming or whatever. But Suitable Flesh.
Oh, I can't
Birth.
wait to see that.
Birth, Rebirth, No One Will Save You, When Evil Lurks, which I heard was freaking amazing.
I heard that, and I heard No One Will Save You is really good too.
Cobweb,
I've heard that was
Malium,
good.
Don't Look Away, and then the one you just mentioned, actually, The Angry Black Girl and Good Boy. But do you guys have any others? Like, say, I'll say 2 each. If you have any.
I would recommend but I do love the franchise. It's Hell House Origins. I thought they brought it back. I thought that was really good.
I do too. I agree. I have not seen the new one yet, but I have faith in it because I really like the other 3. The third one was a little not as good, but this is an origin tale, and if they're going back, I'm really excited to check it out. So.
And Hulu has a good one that I actually enjoyed. It's more psychological, more than horror. It was The Mill. I really enjoyed The Mill.
Oh my god, that almost made my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That was oh my god, watch that, Sturdy. It's on Hulu.
Oh, it's on.
Lil Ray's in it, but he does such a good job in it, man.
I got
that's a good choice.
I got 11 movies to watch by Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern time to pull up this list.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I think you'll like The Mill a lot because it was odd, man. It was so weird how they did it, but I really liked it.
So, you got any more for me, Mick? I'll say at least one more, maybe.
From this year to watch.
Yeah,
I don't have it off the top of my head, but let me think. I might get it along the way.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I don't want to steer your show too much, but I just wanted
to. You're all good, dude. All right. Do you have performances list, Paul?
Actors? Yes, I do.
And do you have movies to look forward to in 2024?
I do not have that.
Okay. And do you have a worst list?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're going to start. Then I'll do my list for movies to look forward to in 2024, and then we'll jump into our lists together.
Okay.
Okay. So number 1 on my list is The Fall Guy. I love 70s, 80s action shows, especially the A-Team, but I also really love The Fall Guy, and that trailer looks awesome. Ryan Gosling looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. And the funny thing is, a lot of people I would talk to about like wanting to watch that and things, they compare it to his last movie, The Gray Man. And I argue with them, and I'm like, he was the best part of The Gray Man. So like if I'm getting just him in a movie or something, or Emily Blunt, who's a much better actor, I'm good. So yeah, I am excited for The Fall Guy. Number 2 is Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Nice.
God, I feel like they're going to go back to the ways of Beverly Hills Cop 2, which is my favorite of all of them. So number 3 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yes.
Maybe it's Ghostbusters. Actually, that would be number 1, but I forgot to adjust this list, so I'm just going with what it is. So Deadpool 3 is number 4. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and I get to see Wolverine and Deadpool pal around for a movie. I don't care if it bombs. I don't care if it's a terrible story. You know, because like with Marvel, I can forgive that. I can't forgive their bullshit. Number 5 is Dune 2. I love these Dune movies. I hate the original. If it is coming out, the movie critic from Quentin Tarantino, I would be very excited to see that, and it is listed as coming out next year. But I doubt it because I haven't heard anything about filming. Inside Out 2 looks awesome. I love the first one. Godzilla and King Kong, of course, because I'm a fucking beast for anything Godzilla. Furiosa, because I love the Mad Max world. And Night Swim.
Yes.
I'm super excited for all. Night Swim just seems like a really, like, she's stuck in a pool with a fucking demon. That's like, why has nobody made this movie before? It's always fish or like mutated or crocodiles or mutated fish people or something. Nobody was like pool demon. We have sharks in tornadoes. We have sharks in tornadoes that has now given us an endless list of crap in tornado movies or hurricanes or tidal waves, zombies in tidal waves. None of us thought, hey, somebody goes for a night swim and there's a demon in the pool. Nobody.
Nope.
Yep.
And I'm so happy with this filmmaker. I even if this movie is bullshit, I'm so happy they made it.
It might be great though. We'll see. I can't wait.
It might be. It looks good. It looks really good.
And Mick, without even knowing, you gave me a movie, and I thank you for it. It was a movie that I was thinking of that I wanted to watch this whole year, but haven't. And if I'm not mistaken, it's called The Fall. I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
From a real high rise thing, whatever. I've yet to watch it. Me and Jason actually talked about it like a few weeks ago, and I kept saying I was going to watch it. So I'm like, you know what? Because I want to kind of just see if it'll make any of these lists. I'm gonna go through this.
I thought, did that movie come out last year?
I thought it came out this year.
2022, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, if it came out in 2020, then never mind.
I think. I don't think
I'm looking it up now for you. Movie. Oh, here it is. 2022. Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah. We'll find one for you, pal.
Actually, no, because that could still make a first time watch overall, possibly. Sure. So yeah, I could still watch it.
All right. How about we do worst list? You want to go worst?
Yeah. Listen, I'm excited to hear.
So we got. You want to kick us off? Yeah, I've been going. You kick us off. I want to hear yours.
Oh, you want to hear mine? You're probably going to hate
Start
mine.
from 10. Number 10.
Okay. They're not technically in any order, but
mine are very much in order.
Number 10 was Boogeyman. I hated the new Boogeyman.
Oh, okay. That bad, huh?
Yep.
Mine was a little more highbrow. I do want to hear your thoughts on that, but I'm going to throw them both out there since they're both horror. Five Nights at Freddy.
It didn't make my top 10 worst. It didn't make any of my lists, honestly. It was kind of a floater for me. It wasn't necessarily the best, and I don't think it was the worst, but
I that one bothered me because I felt like I was watching this truly amazing dramatic movie. And then all of a sudden it's like video game. And, it's like I was like, I would have, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want a Five Nights at Freddy film. I'm saying I don't want Black Phone meets Five Nights at Freddy.
Right.
It's a lot of emotion to take in when I'm going in there thinking I'm watching a video game film. Like, tell the backstory, I get it, but it was a lot, and it was so disjointed. It kept taking me away from it. But I want to hear what you thought about yours.
What, Boogeyman?
Yeah.
Oh,
because it's Stephen King.
So Boogeyman, I just expected more. I expected more allure to it. It's a Boogeyman. You can almost do anything with it, and they showed the monster too much. It was too early. They made it look ridiculous. The acting was kind of over the top, and then you could kill him with a shotgun. Like, we all know a good monster, a good, supernatural creature, it's got to be something over the top, not just shotgun to the head, we're good. End of movie. So I just thought it was a whole disappointment because I had very high hopes for it because I like the 2007 Boogeyman. I didn't think it was that bad.
Wait, the one with Barry Watson?
Yes. I didn't hate that one. I mean, it's a nostalgic movie now. I can't think of the last time I watched it, but I like that one worlds better than this one.
Okay, I get that. All right. And I wasn't judging. I was just like, I was trying to think of it. Like, I was like, I don't remember really liking. I remember not liking that one, but I wasn't sure. Number 9. What do you got?
Number 9, I have a movie called Simulant. Did you watch that one? With the main actor from Upload. It's like a futuristic world where we're kind of AI too, so we're half robots, half normal, and has to save the girl type stuff. And I like that actor. And even though it was just a streaming movie, I kind of thought it was going to be good. It was leading up to the creator, so I was kind of getting in the AI mindset, and they just made it very boring. Like nothing really happened. It's like Babylon AD except no action. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
Thanks. It's funny because we're kind of on the same. I want to see how much of a track because we have not talked about our lists. I just told you like make a list on this and I'll make a list on it. I went with a sci-fi movie too, Hypnotic.
Okay.
The Ben Affleck movie. Here's the thing. I think he catches a lot of shit. Like he's good in movies. He's a good actor, and I don't blame him when movies are bad. Maybe like back in the day when he wasn't as strong of an actor.
Mhm.
You're like, all right, that was pretty bad. And you gave a bad performance, but now, like he was good in this movie that was shit. So I think he's catching a lot of it. And which bothers me because I really like Robert Rodriguez, and this one just missed the mark. I don't know what it was. Like it had a cool concept, the actors were fine. It was a cool sci-fi element, but it just didn't land for me. And it wasn't even just the ending because I thought the ending was actually better than the movie in a way. So, and which is very reverse from how it usually goes. I thought the ending. I was like, okay, that's a cool reveal. I was like, I like that. But I wish this just kind of worked in that way. It just didn't. It was too disjointed getting to that ending. So it's just one of those rare cases. But that's my number 9. And what you got for 8?
Number 8 was Sisu.
I didn't see that. I heard about it. That was the one where he's like in Sweden or something, right?
Yes. It was miserable. I thought it was they were trying to make it kind of like Nobody mixed with John Wick, set in World War II. And I think they should have made it its own thing because they just made the guy invincible for no reason and nothing was believable at all. Because I will say, to an extent, in the John Wick universe, it's believable in the John Wick universe. And same for the movie Nobody. I could believe that somebody that has gotten out of that world and has come back as, it's believable to an extent. Sisu is not believable. Dude gets crucified. He's dead. And then magically takes a nail and plunges it deeper into the same hole to lift himself up and gets off. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Whoa. Are you telling me that people who are crucified can't come back to life?
Yeah, 100%.
That's sacrilege. Jesus.
Only one person. That's what I'm saying. Only one person could do it, and it's not him. So it's gone.
Okay, while you're pissing off the Christian, right? I'm just gonna go with no. So, what do you have for? Oh wait, did I say my number? No, my number 8 is Gran Turismo.
Oh, interesting.
It just does. So I wanted to because I heard it was a true story. I looked into the true story. I was like, this is cool. I was like, all right. And then I saw the trailer. I was like, I'm not really into it, but I like the actors. I was like, let me check it out. And honestly, I was just like, this is boring. This isn't like this doesn't like, how when you watch like some sports movies and it's like, you just want to like shred. You're like, I'm ready to go. I can play any sport you throw in front of me now because I watched this movie. It just built you up. This tries to make it feel like it's doing that for you with never actually doing that.
Okay.
Sort of boring. You're like, cool, man. Sweet. Glad you got it. But the best part about this movie was hearing that the guy that it was inspired by was a stunt driver on the movie.
Right. That was cool.
So it was boring. I was like, you could have done something really cool here, but you didn't. So anyway, number 7.
To Catch a Killer.
Jump in on any of these that you've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, my number 7 was To Catch a Killer with Cheyenne Woodley. Yeah.
I will not watch a movie with her. I can't.
Well,
that's
where I messed up.
There's some actors I'm like, when they see them in it, I'm like, can't do it. I just can't.
She stayed the same the whole movie. So like her being like upset was still the same as her sad or her drunk or her
every
happy.
Movie. Yeah. She is miserable in every movie. Why? Because she's miserable in every movie.
Yeah.
She just like, I can't tell whether she's acting. Like I've seen her in movies where she's like an action hero. And then I've seen her in movies where like she's playing a cancer patient. And I'm like, all you did was put tubes in her nose. She's just miserable.
Yeah.
She's just miserable all the time.
And I think the writing was just bad on this too, because or directed, who knows? But all I know is that like that was probably the worst alcoholic I've ever seen on screen, probably my entire life, movie wise. Like
Oh, okay.
just didn't seem like she was an actual alcoholic. Like, oh, I've had too much to drink. But it goes with her acting too. So anyway, that was my number 7. Sorry.
No, Jason, she wasn't. She was not good in that show with Reese
What was that?
Witherspoon and Nicole
Big
Kidman.
Big Little
They were
Lies. I
good.
love that.
They were good, and she was miserable. That's what it was. You had really see. That's where you're wrong. You see, when you have a bad actor in a movie with amazing actors, it's like, whoa, he's great. Now, what? Case in point, Ocean's 11. Right? How many amazing actors are in Ocean's 11? Now, name what was the name of the Chinese man on the team? What was the name of the tech genius on the team? What was the name of like there are certain actors in there who are not very strong, but you like those characters in that movie because the amazing acting around them made them look good. So I have never seen an episode of Big Little Lies, right? That's the show.
Yeah.
Never seen an episode. I can guarantee you I will find phenomenal acting in there. And it ain't going to come from Cheyenne Woodley. And yeah, her character may come off likable or unlikable, however she's playing out, depending on the force of the actors around her. I'm sorry that I have to rant against her. That's how I feel. But if you like her, have fun. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to be convinced, just as I don't want to convince you not to watch me or do anything or whatever with her. I'm just saying, have fun. And I think she broke Aaron Rodgers' heart. And now he's crazy, and that makes me sad because I like Aaron Rodgers. But anyway, let's go on. So you said that one. I'm not even going to say the name again because I can't take her. And I said for number 7, Operation Fortune.
Okay.
Does anybody remember this
Guy
movie?
Ritchie, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm so mad that I can't get into a Guy Ritchie movie anymore.
Okay.
I loved Guy Ritchie back in the day. And it's the same with Robert Rodriguez. Both of them broke my heart this year. Because it's like I just can't get into your movies now. There's missing something. It's missing something that Quentin Tarantino was like, he went the other way. They were all on the same level, making great movies like this. And then somewhere along the line, somebody made Spy Kids, and Tarantino was like, oh no, I'm going even more in on myself. And it just got better with Tarantino and it got worse with everybody else. And that's what came out of this was Operation whatever the hell. I did not really, I think it was one of 2 movies I walked out on. I couldn't watch it.
Sure.
It was abysmal. So what's your number 6?
Number 6 is The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, I didn't watch it. It was that bad, huh?
I just didn't like it at all. I didn't like the premise, the whole demon and all this trapped under it. I didn't like it, and I kind of went in with low expectations because I can't take Russell Crowe in a horror that serious anyway. Because he's a great actor in dramas, superb. He does great. I'll even give him musicals, but
Sturdy
fucking
Spades
horror
looked at you like for a second. Wait, are you talking about Nick Cage? Because I'm about to punch you.
Horror. He needs to stay the fuck out of horror.
I agree.
He was just he just was too monotone. It was the same to me as oh fuck, what was that with the Anthony Hopkins?
I beg to differ. What about that crazy one where he played the stalker who was just hunting that woman down the entire time? The fat dude that looked like me a little bit and scares me. Like I'm not that mean. Like I'm, like he was like, I feel like my life could be one of 2 ways. I could be that guy, Russell Crowe, or I could be like Ted Lasso. And I'm trying to fall hard into Ted Lasso, so I'm not that guy. So it's just a crazy ass angry white man who's trying to hunt people down.
Oh shit!
That was a good horror one. That was my whole point. I don't know why I went all the way there. Just to say, I think he could do good in horror, but maybe just not this one.
No, this one was garbage. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Okay.
Period.
That's fair. Mine was Fast X.
Thank you.
Fast X was just not good. And I like those. And I'm on record on this show for years now defending the Fast and the Furious franchise And the only thing I will defend in Fast X, which everybody for some reason disagrees with me and I don't understand it, is Jason Momoa is the best part of that movie. He is a great villain that I wished wasn't in a terrible movie, and he could actually, in fact, transition that villain into another good movie somewhere, because we're lambasting him for this bullshit Aquaman movie, which I don't put him down for. It's just that was part of the whole trash that came out in DC, and now we have this great villain character in this shitty movie. So it just drives me nuts. I'm just pissed off about it. It just annoys me because he was really good. He was the Joker. He was a good version of the Joker in Fast X, and they fucked it up. I don't know. Whatever. All right, what's your number 5?
Willy Wonka was my number 5.
The Wonka movie?
Yeah.
Holy shit! That
I know. We talked about it
almost
last
made
week.
it in my top movies.
I know. I'm sorry.
I
Like I
loved it.
said, I think it's because of my expectations before, what the trailer made it out to be, what I expected as far as a prequel to Willy Wonka, and I don't know. I think I had it envisioned wrong, and it just wasn't anything I wanted it to be, and I just hated it. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I'm just going to say mine is 65, and I don't think anybody wants to talk about that anyway because
That's my number 4.
nice. It's just it wasn't that good. It's just, and I like Adam Driver. I'll see things he's in, even if it's shit. Like I would still watch 60. If somebody was like, "Hey, Adam Driver's never going to act again unless you watch 65," I'd watch 65 so he could keep going because I like him that much, and he was at least enjoyable enough in it. So, Adam Driver, I love you, buddy. So anyway, and you know what? Semper Fi, my friend. So I'm sitting here. I don't want to talk about 65. Yours, although I do want to get into. It was like I liked Wonka.
I'm sorry.
To me, that all the reasons that I liked Wonka are the reasons I don't like Sound of Music. And people are going to lambaste me for that, I'm sure. But beginning to end, you have a fun story. It's kind of out there. There's nothing. You don't leave any of the interesting parts out. It's still look at the image. At least look at it from the imagery standpoint, the music standpoint, and don't even look at it from the story. There is enjoyable parts in it.
True.
The music. It's not a full-on hardcore musical, and there are those interesting parts that kind of play throughout. I still like the interconnection of it because when we get to my best actors of the year, you're going to be surprised by this. But it's for me, it's like it just works. Like those bridges between like the big spectacular scenes worked just as well as those big spectacular scenes. You know what I mean? Like him getting the room, signing up, and then having to go sell the truck. Like those to the big ones where they have to do the heists and stuff. So. You know why I compare it to Sound of Music is because that had fucking none of it for 3 hours. That had no ups and downs or highs or lows. Oh, I'm in love with him and he's engaged.
I will say,
next scene,
how
think
many
he's in love with you and you should have him. But this movie, like no, I'm sorry. I respect you putting it on your list, but I can't get behind it personally.
All right, Sturdy.
All right, Sturdy. Sorry, brother. I know we're keeping you going, but love you, buddy.
No, you're good. You're good. I know I wasn't blaming me
Sturdy.
to show you guys some love, but continue to watch this. Don't leave because I'm leaving, guys. I gotta go. Enjoy this show. Enjoy this episode. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.
Nice.
Nicolas Cage sucks.
No, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh.
All right.
But yeah, going back to Wonka though. No. Because you
all
can
right, we got a
still...
motor after this though, because we have like 10 more lists. But no, I want to hear Wonka.
We'll move on.
No, Wonka, say it.
Oh, I was just gonna say I can still name off a bunch of songs from Sound of Music, and I can't name one single song from Wonka. That's all I'm saying.
I've been singing songs from Wonka, and I know all of the goddamn songs from The Sound of Music because everybody seems to love that fucking movie, and I don't get it. So. Yep. But I saw it once in the theaters, and I'm still singing songs from it. Scrub. I got this. That was such a good movie. No, man, I didn't put it on my top 10 list. It's your fault. No, all right. What's your? So we said 65 is your number 4. My number 4 is The Expendables 4.
Okay, that's I see. I didn't even bother seeing it. So
Yeah, it's
that's
just, and
good.
I love Jason Statham, but man, he is not doing well for movies this year. But what's your number 3?
Number 3 was the remake they did of Children of the Corn.
I didn't even bother. It is. I wouldn't even
Enough
like
said,
because
it's just yeah.
I kind of like the original.
Right.
So like, why
And
would
that's
I sequels to me and remakes? I'm like, I kind of
right.
like the original, and that one at least had Linda Hamilton in it. So, what is your number 2?
You people.
Oh, my number 2 is The Flash.
Okay. I can understand that.
And I'm going to save on this for a sec. What's your number 1?
My number 1 was A Man Called Otto.
Yeah, honestly, it was so boring. I didn't even feel like it deserved to be on my list.
Yep.
Like, I was like, you're so boring. You're not even a top 10 bad movie. But my number 1 is You People.
Yes. Thank
It
God.
was so fucking bad. I don't know. Like, you have amazing actors, and on top of that, amazing writers and comedians in it. And what they came up with in this, like, at no point did any of like the amazing veteran actors, the comedic actors like Eddie Murphy or Julie Louis-Dreyfus or I can name countless others in this movie, turn and say, can we make this a little funnier?
Right.
Can we not
Right.
pander so much? Can we just make it a little funnier? If we're going to make it offensive, can we make it offensive the right way? Like they do in their own movies, or shows and stuff like that. But like, they couldn't even, like, what were you making here? It was a statement, but it was a statement that honestly, like, it just felt, I don't know, it just felt like it was kind of making fun of, in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not making fun. Maybe making fun is not, or poking at, I don't know, like, Jewish and Black cultures. And I was like, I'm like, but not in a way where it's making fun of them, but like kind of like overly sensitive about. I just, it felt weird to me. I don't know, but I'd love to hear what you thought.
I just thought a lot of the jokes were forced. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a genius, I'm a literary genius by any means, but I don't think any of those jokes are things that I haven't just said with my friends jokingly. Like, I want a comedy that's sophisticated, or one that says something I've never even thought of joking about. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hear something balls to the wall where I'm like, that's funny. Like, I've never even thought of verbalizing something like that. Haha, something I can use to say to someone else, and they're like, this was very elementary in its comedy, in my opinion, minus the curse words. It just didn't have any depth to it. It was just very, oh, I can't say this word, and okay, something in Paris. Like, why are you just dancing around the song? Like, come on, we all know, we're all adults, we know this all. Like, and they kept that, like, those scenes lasted too long where it just felt awkward at that point. It was like, just one of you say it. This should have been a 5-second scene, not a 2-minute thing of, no, go ahead. No, well, it's, anyway, you already know.
But yeah, and I see what you're saying, but to me, it also felt like that too. It felt like it was trying more to teach a lesson, but there was no actual lesson.
Right.
There's no actual payoff to teach us anything.
Right.
So yeah, I'm right there with you. I think you put it perfectly. All right, let's roll on. You want to do where are we at? Let's do performances. How's that sound?
Okay, that works. Yes, sir.
All right, let's start with number 10. What's your number 10? And we're going to kind of motor through these, but yeah, please, I'd love to hear.
I'm going to butcher names because I'm really bad at it, but it was Tom Blythe in the Hunger Games, Songbird, the guy that played President Snow.
Oh, he's a young blonde dude, right?
Yes. I was blown away by his acting in that movie, and I thought he did a real good job with the character development of, at first seeming kind of innocent and caring more about his family and stuff like that. You could see the slow change of, if no one's seen it, sorry, the development of why he's changing and kind of turns into a colder person, and you can see it on his face. It was great acting.
All right, I like that. I haven't seen it, so I'm going to go with my number 10, and that's Emily Blunt from Oppenheimer.
Nice.
I'm not even going to defend her. She's amazing. So, like, you're going to get a great job, and it's Christopher Nolan directing. It's a good script, great story. So that's what you got. Number 9.
Number 9 was Sophia Wilde from Talk to Me, the main actress in there. Because I've seen her in a few things, but never, as a lead or that caliber. And I thought she sold it. You could see the terror in her. You could see like the demon and all that, and even just her, just in general, just being the sister and the back and forth. I thought she did a great job.
That's awesome. I love it. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Number 9 for me is Olivia Colman in Wonka. Her character behind the desk at the laundromat.
Okay.
She's so sadistic and she's so crazy and creepy. It's on a level with Carol Burnett from the movie Annie, where it's like a really memorable role. Like, her role stuck out to me more than a lot of people's roles in that movie.
Okay.
I thought she was so good, and I thought for a while there, I would even put her up. Like, if you were like, who are the best villains in the movie, I'd be like, I might have to say her. She was so good in it. Like, she was that surface level villain, but it's almost like, wow, you're putting on a performance on the level of like Darth Vader, and the rest of the villains are putting on a level like way less, But I loved her performance in it. So, who is your number 8?
You might hate me for this. It was Jennifer Lawrence and No Hard Feelings.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, she did not make my list, but are you doing your men and women, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't do just actors. Yeah,
I did too. I meant mine are mixed.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, she was squeaked out, but I would put her in the top 15 for sure if I did it. She did great in that movie.
Yeah, she did great, and I thought it was cool, like hearing the interviews of her doing full frontal nudity. I'm not sitting here saying that's why she got it, but why she did it. Reclaiming herself after the leaked photos and everything, and good on her because she just had a kid. Like,
I watched that movie. I was on Jeff Dwoskin's show, Crossing the Streams, and Bob the Suit. He's a great comedian. If you guys should go check him out. He recommended it on the show, and he was like, it's just, and he talked to that scene with the nudity. He goes, the crazy part is it's so funny, and and there's nothing sexual about it, and you're enjoying this scene because of what's happening and how the comedy's playing out. And I give her, and after I watched it, my wife and I are laughing our asses off. And I just saw what he saw there. I was like, yeah, there's nothing, like, you see, there's just nothing sexual about it. It's like, and the fact that she's trying to reclaim her stuff, and this was her, like you said, the significance of her trying to reclaim the nudity that was like leaked. I thought that was a very cool nod to it. And I completely guess why she would be on somebody's top 10 list for that movie. Great job. Not great job, but you know what I mean. Great choice. My number 8 is Carey Mulligan from Maestro. In my opinion, the best part of that movie. It was odd, disjointed. Cinematography kind of throws you off when it jumps between color and black and white, which I think was subtly done way better in Oppenheimer, and I think they were trying to go for that effect. It just didn't cross for me. Bradley Cooper is fine. It's about Leonard Bernstein. He's a good actor, again. He's a good director, so he's pulling great performances. I just don't think the movie matched up well. It wasn't that intriguing of a story for me. But Carey Mulligan's character was fantastic, and that's another actor you can put in any role, and she kills it.
Right.
Way, yeah. Fly, Sally Sparrow, fly. My Hoovians. Who's your number 7?
Joaquin Phoenix and Beau is Afraid.
Oh, I hated that movie.
Did you?
Ari Aster can't write a fucking movie to save his life. Oh, he needs somebody to write with him. I don't mind the weird elements because I love Michelle Gondry, so trust me, weird elements don't bother me at all. I don't mind Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's overrated. I think the performances he won awards for or was nominated for were his best performances. Anything in between, I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
You did a good job. Like, you're not a bad actor. I'm not trying to shit on him, but that's just my feeling on him. To me, though, with Joaquin Phoenix, like, if he didn't, I don't know. I'm not a professional like he is. So like, I can't be like, dude, if you just did this, like, but I feel like
Right.
he could be, in my eyes, a level of like Nick Cage because of how he changes things up. But for me, like Napoleon got thrown off because of his performance in it just seems so different from everybody else's. I mean, the accent didn't help,
Yeah.
but it seemed like he was on a different set than they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like if he could, like, that's where like I argue with Sturdy about Nicolas Cage, where I'm like, this dude is on the set. He's telling the story.
Yeah.
He knows this movie better than anybody. The guy who wrote it when he steps into it because the character is ready.
Right.
And that's why I have that respect for him. But so you said okay, I'll give you that though. Joaquin Phoenix was good in that one. That is a good performance of his.
Right. Yeah. I'm not like that movie didn't make any of my list, so like I'm not saying that movie was good, but his performance in there, I did enjoy and was believable.
My number 7 is Emma Stone from Poor Things. If you need to see this movie.
Okay.
It's an odd take on Frankenstein.
Okay.
So
I've been looking forward. I'll definitely
Yeah.
have to do that one next.
Check it out. For sure. All right. What's your number 6?
Number 6 is Nicolas Cage and Renfield.
It was a great performance. That almost made my top 10, but it like the ones I have on here are just like too solid. Mine is Jeffrey Wright from American Fiction.
Okay.
Another good one. That's a good one. Good comedy. Really well done. If Sterling K. Brown could have been on there too, he'd probably be in my top 20. He did a really good role in that too. But Jeffrey Wright just kind of like just took it over. He really controlled that movie all the way through. So, number 5.
Number 5 was mainly just because I needed this movie to hit one of my lists. Was I like Jenna Ortega and Scream 6. Scream 6
She was
didn't
great.
make it in my
She
list.
was the best part of the past 2
Yeah.
Scream movies.
Yep.
She really killed. And I was actually kind of annoyed because I was like, I don't know about Sabrina Carpenter. She did a good job, but I think Jennifer Ortega would have done better in that role, and maybe a role like a switch.
Yes.
But you can't really switch because you would need a younger actor than Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
It's just kind of throw you off a little bit. But I like that pick though. It's a good pick. And but for me, my number 5 is Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer. Kills it.
Okay.
Stoic throughout. Does a great job. Carries the movie really well. His intensity is there. So I think they're both great performances though. Who's your number 4?
Dave Bautista, Knock at the Cabin.
Nice. That's a good choice. I like that.
Yeah, I'm blown away that he can do serious roles. You know, he's a big guy, so you almost expect him. You expect him to be in stuff like The Expendables, like just nonstop action films, things like that. And you know, I'm guilty of it, like thinking, you know, he's just kind of a dumb big body. That's it. And he absolutely proved me wrong in this, where I've looked into his other movies because he was superb.
He is such a good actor. And funny because when Glass Onion came out, a lot of people were just like, oh yeah, that's who he is though. That's his character and everything. And I'm like, have you seen Blade Runner 2049? Have you seen what was the one where New York was under assault and he was like getting the girl out and like he was an ex-soldier? He did such a good job in so many of these movies. Fubar. Not Fubar. What was it? Stuber is what it was called.
Yes.
He was funny in that. I was like, you're just as funny as Khalil. So like I thought, you know, like he that's a great performance, and I like that you picked that. Mine is Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
I like the movie. Very good movie. A little too long, like I talked about. I have a whole, if you guys want to know my feelings on it, go watch the review. But De Niro's character is the best acting throughout. He nails it all the way throughout. He plays just this devious, horrible character of a man who in the face of these people is just like a friend and somebody they care about so deeply. So it's just, he does it so well. Like everybody in it does a great job, but he is by and far like the guy who should be nominated in my opinion.
Yep.
And you're number 3. Yeah, we're on number 3.
Number 3 was Mia Goth in an Infinity Pool.
I didn't see that one. So she did a good job. Well, she's pretty good. I give her that. She plays those creepy characters well.
I think in the next couple years, she's going to be a scream queen without a doubt. I think she does a great job acting crazy and all that. I thought her role in that was the best and actually kept me watching the movie because the movie was kind of just too weird to an extent. And I don't really care for that guy from True Blood. I forget his name, the main actor that was in Infinity War.
I like him. I like him in some things. Yeah, like I like him in the Godzilla movies or the Kong movies or whatever.
The Northman or whatever.
He was good in that one.
I liked him in that. This one, I was like, whatever. But Mia Goth.
He played a character on Succession this year, the last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like the last season. I think the show is bullshit. That is just me. But his character was quite fantastic all the way throughout because he just plays I don't give a shit billionaire throughout. But I gotta give him credit for that one if this one was that bad. If he was bad in it. But I'd give her a Scream Queen now.
She's great. Pearl, all those movies. Yeah,
even though actually, you know what? I don't know if I would give her Scream Queen. I don't know if I would. I think if she keeps going the way she's going, playing the roles that she's playing, like I say with Felissa Rose, who's not a Scream Queen, maybe a horror icon one day.
There you go. I could absolutely. Okay, that's fair. I can give her that.
Because she's not playing like she played in X, she played 2 roles. Like she was playing. Right. And then, so you get to that point and then go to Pearl and then what happens with Maxine. So it's all going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. So you have a horror trilogy right there. You got Infinity Pool. What else? I mean, she's got a few other things too. So like, hell yeah. Like maybe a horror icon one day. I don't know if she's going to be any Final Girls. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think she's going to step up above that. So... and not to put down Scream Queens, but like I think horror icons, like we watch the movies for Jason, Freddy,
right?
Not so much Final Girls, but we love them,
right?
So, and that goes for the Final Guys too. So, that was your number 3. Mine was Margot Robbie and Barbie.
Okay, that's fair.
I think everybody's giving a lot of credit to Ryan Gosling, who was fantastic in the movie. But I think Margot Robbie, if we go back and really rewatch her, and I think she catches a lot of crap because it's like, well, it's Barbie. She just has to look and stand there. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is Barbie going through a midlife crisis or not an existential crisis. Like this is, she did fantastically like throughout. Like I think she deserves to be nominated for Academy Award for sure. Number 2 on your list.
Hugh Jackman, The Son.
I haven't seen it. I heard it was good. It wasn't that good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I liked that he was going back because I don't want to say fed up.
Oh, this is best performances. I'm still on. Oh no, this was
you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it took it back to his days where he was doing movies like The Fountain. It was nice seeing him not just be Wolverine and just screaming and kind of just the big kind of muscular whatever. It was nice seeing him play like father role and just all things he's going through in the relationship, and I thought he was great.
I'm sold. I'm gonna watch it for sure. Thanks, man. Okay, my number 2 is Jonathan Majors in Creed 3.
Okay,
he did such a fantastic job in that role, and I know he has his legal issues and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna take away from his roles. He did a good job. So I think, in my opinion, he was definitely up there in one of the best performances of the year. And your number 1, sir?
Was Christian Bale and Pale Blue Eyes.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that one either, but I wanted to. Cool. Okay. You can always tell. You can always tell my good buddy producer Paul is more of a horror fan.
Yeah. Always.
I love it. Hey, it gives me a different perspective because a lot of those I haven't seen, and now I want to go see them if you're putting them on your performance list. Mine, Nick Cage, Dream Scenario. He was so goddamn good in that movie. and that movie is so goddamn good. But I'm going to review that in just a little bit. So then I'll get more in depth there. But have you seen it yet? You haven't had a chance, or
No, we have it queued up. We'll probably watch it later. I'll probably watch it later.
I might have to kick you out then, so that way you don't get stuck. Well, all right. Let's go on to top 10 shows. What's your number 10?
So I think I did this right. So top 10 since anyway, Barry.
Which one?
Barry.
Yeah. What is Barry?
The HBO show where he's like,
Barry.
Yeah.
Oh, my mind went to like a teddy bear. I'm like, what's?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Barry? Like
You're
Barry.
right.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's a good that. I don't think that made my list, but that was a good final season. Number 10 for me is The Curse, that new Emma Stone show. You'll like it too. I think you should check it out.
I've been watching it. It's strange, but I have been trying to enjoy it. I'm waiting for something to be like, I love it. I guess if that makes sense. Like I'm episode what? We're 5 in right now, I think. And I'm
we're only about halfway, but it's on my list. I don't care. It's already like the first 2 episodes alone. I was like, this is it. Number 9 on yours.
Love and Death.
Oh, nice. I haven't checked that out yet. I watched the other one that's based on.
Okay. Yeah, Love and Death. Oh my God. We're addicted. Okay. Like we've absolutely.
I'll check it out. I love her. I think she's a fantastic actor. So if we did actors from TV shows, yeah, that would be an interesting list, but I did not put one of those together. But I could see her like making your list on that and why.
Oh yes.
Number 9 for me is Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a good list. Good show. Godzilla's in it enough for me. Kurt Russell's in it enough for me. Wyatt Russell's in it enough for me. Because he's just like his dad, so I might as well just transfer all my love from Kurt Russell into Wyatt's acting now. Because I think that's where it's going. More Snake Plissken is what I'm saying, please, with Wyatt. That's what I want. So that it's a great show. I think everybody's checking out if you like the Godzilla universe. What's your number 8?
Succession.
I think we know where I stand on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's crazy about that show is, I just hopped into it this year, so I was able to like kind of plow through all of it, which was really nice for me because I didn't have to wait a year or anything.
Well,
I love it.
I did the same, and I was like, okay, it was like right after Ted Lasso had just ended, and I'm like, all right, I'll get into this show. I hear it's great and it's final season, whatever. Watched it and I was fucking miserable. I was like, I hate these billionaire whiny baby. Like, I understand why the father hates them,
right?
But at the same time, I understand why they are who they are,
right?
And I wish the father knew that. You did this, dickhead. But like, I don't understand like this family empire bullshit. Like, he should have just sold the business. It would have been amazing. So you're out. I don't know. It's just there was good acting. It was good drama. It was this, that, and the other thing. Like, I'm not putting down the merit of the show. I just don't want to cheer for these characters that I clearly like in the news every day. I want to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care if you take it over. Like, at no point did I care who took it over because I'm like, I don't like any of you.
Right.
I hope it gets taken from you. In fact, the Swedish guy played by what's his name, Tarzan, the guy you didn't like from Infinity Pool, that one of the Skarsgårds, the with the A, I think. He's so good in it. I'm like, he's a piece of shit. He's a monster. They portray him as that. But the fact that he only wants it to fuck the family, and he doesn't care about them at all, I'm like, I want him to get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's how much I don't like the other ones.
Yes.
So like, that's why I was like, that show to me is like, what are you talking about? And of course, nobody got it. He did get it. So that I got what I wanted, but I'm still not satisfied because I'm like, oh, yeah, I cheered for another billionaire to get it, and he did. Great. What's inflation telling me I can't afford now? That's right. So anyway, I'll end my rant there, but that's that was your number 8, right?
Yep.
Mine was Shrinking. Made from with Harrison Ford, Jason Segel, no, all around great cast. Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein from Bill Lawrence did Scrubs, he did Cougar Town, he did tons of shows. Ted Lasso. Brett Goldstein coming off of Ted Lasso, he played Roy Kent, but he was like the head writer on that show. This is their thing. They worked with Jason Segel on it, and it's all about mental health and the positivity that can come from it, especially when you have friends, things like that. Like it's a very on par. It almost feels like a little bit more of an adult version of Ted Lasso. Still has the positivity, still has the same messages, gets there in a little bit different ways, can have more of a dark times because the guy's wife died in it. But it's really well done in my opinion, and that's why it's on the list. So number 7 on your list,
Last of Us.
Oh, I mean, there's no reason.
Right.
I don't even have to ask you why.
No.
It's on mine too, and it's coming up. So, so
Right.
Last of Us, I think, is on everybody's list. It's just such a great show.
It was so damn good.
And
Everyone
I'm not
watched
going to ask you why it's so low, because I get it, but I want to see what your list is. Like, I understand like why it's low on my list comparatively to all the other things that are higher. But number 7 on mine is Mrs. Davis. I think it's a sleeper.
Okay.
I hope it gets a season 2, but it doesn't have to because it's pretty much done. Like but I am so excited for it. It's about a nun who goes on a mission to defeat an artificial intelligence that's controlling the earth, the people on earth, I should say. And she's doing this for Jesus. It's
right.
It's on Peacock. It was an original series. It is a wild ride from beginning to end. It is not what you think. Don't go crazy if you're like, well, it's religious overtones. No, the Christian will go crazy if they watch this show because Jesus is a black man in it. So, so who cares there? But what I'm saying to you is, you need to watch the show, Paul.
Okay.
I really want to know what you think. I think it deserves to be on my list. So, right. Mrs. Davis. All right. What's your number 6?
At number 6. Oh, it was one of my favorite comedies this year. One of them. White House Plumbers.
Oh, I did watch that. That was good. I liked it. It didn't make my list, but I did like it.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was. I don't know. I just thought it was great.
They played really well off of each other.
Yes. Yeah, they were a good duo.
I like that a lot. All right, mine is The Last of Us. So we kind of went over why it's on there. What's your number 5?
Murderers in the Building.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good one. I didn't finish the 3rd season yet. I'm still kind of working my way through it, but it's a great show. I definitely get it.
It's the cast, man. I'm telling you. I wish they had the third amigo in that. If they had Chevy Chase, oh man,
dude, Chevy Chase. Oh my God,
if they had him in there.
Where he's at now, he's not.
That's okay. He can come back. He can just come out and play for a little bit.
That's fair. Mine was Poker Face, another Peacock show. That kind of really surprised me. Great show. She does fantastic in it. Natasha. Why can't I think of her name at the moment? I'm losing my mind. But you'll know when you see her. She was I don't know, like she's just like this. I call her like a spunky type of character. That's just what she always reminds me of. But she's just basically plays this character called Charlie Cale, who gets tied up with the mob and has to go on a run. But she can spot anybody. She human lie detector test. It doesn't matter. She just can. She's even like, I don't know if it's supernatural or what, but if you're lying to me, I know it. and that gets her. So it becomes sort of like a weekly episode that has different directors. Famous directors will come in, has famous actors in it, the whole nine, and it's her road trip through the country solving murders haphazardly. Like she gets tied into it. Maybe she has to take a job somewhere, and like, yeah. So like, it's just I think it's a really fun show. So check out Poker Face, coming out with season 2 too.
There you go.
You look like you hated it.
I haven't watched it. I thought it looked just from the trailers I've seen of it. It looked boring, but I'll watch it because of you. I'll give it a try now.
I think I thought that too from the trailers. I think you really like it though. Number 4, what do you got?
Ooh, it was tough, but it was The Fall of the House of Usher.
Good one. I'm gonna save the talk on that for a second. My number 4 is Ted Lasso season 3.
Okay.
I loved it. I thought it was a great end to the show, and deserves to be on the list to watch. So, what's your number 3?
Number 3 was Twisted Metal.
I like that one. That was another Peacock one for me that really stuck. I liked it.
Yeah, Peacock's been doing pretty damn good on their TV shows and their reality TV shows, for that matter, as well.
Nice. I have watched a lot of their shows, and I do like them. I haven't watched the reality. I don't watch reality anyway. That's just me, though. I used to get drunk the night before any before so when I was working in Hollywood, I'd never wanted to work reality TV. So like when I would get put on jobs and I would go and like interview for them, I would get like hammered the night before, so I was just hungover the next day. That's how much I hate it. That's how much I respected reality TV. I would go prim and proper for anything else, but like, hey, shit talks, but whatever. Shit talks, bullshit walks. What? Here we go. So you said number 3 was that
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. My number 3 is The Fall of the House of Usher. That's why I saved it.
There you go.
Amazing show.
It was
amazing.
I want to watch it again. Like,
I do. Me too. I watched all Mike Flanagan's series after that through the month of November, and all great. I mean, I've seen quite a few of them, but I didn't watch Midnight Society, Midnight Club, or whatever it was, and then watch the Midnight Mass one. Both like Midnight Society or Club or whatever it is. Good. I really enjoyed it. It's a really good story beginning to end. I wish it wasn't a one-off. Like he's not going to go back to it.
Right.
And the other one, Midnight Mass, was phenomenal. So it's a better version of Salem's Lot.
It was so good. So
Which
good.
one?
Midnight Mass. I could watch it again.
So good.
I might have to watch it again, actually.
I could, but Fall House of Usher, I probably will too. It was so good. What's your number 2?
Number 2 is Goosebumps. I really enjoyed Goosebumps. Really? Okay. I mean, that's fair. Like, I don't, because I still watched, Are You Afraid of the Dark growing up, but it was reruns. So I grew up with Goosebumps. I feel like Goosebumps has a special place for me. And I absolutely love Justin Long. Like, he can do no wrong in my eyes. So
no, it didn't seem bad. I seemed out of touch with it, I think. Because I grew up on Goosebumps too. And I don't know. Like, I was watching it, I'm like, I don't know. It's like, it's the same reason I don't watch Riverdale or shows like that. I'm like, it just doesn't hit with me. I'm 41. Like, I don't understand what anybody's talking about. So, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right. I mean, I like the horror. It seems kind of cool, but I'll return to it. So I'm not giving up on it. But I did just have to walk away from it for a little bit. I just couldn't get really into it. But I will go back to it for you, Paul. I'm going to finish it. And reserve my judgment. My number 2 is The Bear season 2. Phenomenal show. I don't care. I'm yelling at this point.
That's fair.
I had a fever all day. Leave me alone. So
I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead.
No, what you got?
I was going to say that's my number 1. So
great. If my number 1 wasn't my number 1, The Bear season 2 would be my number 1.
God damn, that's such a good show.
Phenomenal show. Phenomenal. In fact, my best performances when I made my list, I had about 13 on there. like my finalized list.
Mm.
One of the performances was a television performance.
Okay.
And it was Ebok. I think his name's Ebok Moss, or I can't remember his name. He's the one he plays the cousin.
Yep.
And his
love him.
performance in this season of The Bear was going to be on my list of top 10. It was like number 12.
Mm.
It could have been in my top 10 of my performances of the year.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, people, that's screen. Like, I didn't watch the theater performances this year, so like if I really went in depth with that, you'd have a whole thing. And if you want me to, let me know. So I love theater too. I'll talk theater. So
yes.
yeah, that was so. If my number one wasn't my number one, The Bear season 2 would have absolutely been number one. So, but now that I know you're number one, and we both agree it was amazing, my number one is Picard season 3.
Okay.
This is fan service done right with original story and amazing performances. It builds to a whole new world. It's everything everybody's wanted and more for 40 years. So no, it's perfect Trek, in my opinion.
Okay.
It is the best season of Star Trek ever. And that's hard to say. That's hard to say, but it is. And it goes down as my number one series of 2023. So
Interesting. Okay. I'll have to tell my dad that because he's a huge Trek fan. I think he kind of gave up on newer Star Trek shows
well, I would
for the most part.
Listen, we have our other Star Trek show, so tell him about it. Look, you're going to be a fan of the scenes. Your dad's going to be a fan of Warp Factor Fiction.
Yeah.
So, and then I got you both in the Snob Nation.
Yep.
I'm kidding. That sounded more maniacal than I think I meant it to. But here we go.
It's fine.
Our top 10 movies of 2023. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's motor through so we can get to the reviews. All right. Number 10. What's your number 10?
Dark Harvest.
What?
Don't know if you. It's about a small town where they have to kill this scarecrow spirit entity thing, or else something bad happens, like a drought or whatever. Like all their crops go to hell. And it's like set in like a 50s era, and it's just about the high schoolers are the only ones that can hunt this creature and have to kill it by midnight. And it was just, I think it was under the radar, went straight to streaming. I thought it was pretty damn good.
I will 100% check it out. It sounds interesting to me, so I like it. I think it was surprising to me, and it's kind of funny that we're still on the same level because my number 10 is a horror too. I see our lists and I'm like, man, Paul's real. Like, I love independent, but I think mine is like a lot of mine were independents, but I think mine are like the more mainstream.
I got you.
We go back and forth, so it's kind of cool to have that breakup of both. So Dark Harvest, I'll check it out. Number 10 on my list is Evil Dead Rise.
Nice. Yes, sir.
It's one of the best movies of the year. I think it's fantastically done. It's just a wonderful movie. What's your number 9?
Murder Mystery 2.
All right, what's your Murder Mystery 2 is in your top 10 movies of 2023?
Absolutely. I love Adam Sandler in that and Jennifer Aniston. What do you mean? Don't shake your head at me. I love the first one and second one.
I
They're
love
so
you.
good.
First of all, what fucks me up is like on any other time I would be like, Paul, all right, I can't even with you. So any other time I would say, I swear to God, any other year, I would probably say, with the exception of 1992 and T2, is like, you never put a sequel on your best list of the year. It's never the case. But my number 9 is a sequel as well. So it pisses me off, and I can't even have that argument. But my argument for this is, really?
Yeah.
Really? On your and listen, I feel like just by the title, Dark Harvest should be ahead of Murder Mystery 2. I love you, Paul. I love your insights. It's not a bad list. And I love that you love it. It's just so fucking. I'm the scene snob. There's going to be times I'm like, really, Murder
Yep.
Mystery 2 is on your best of the year.
Mhm.
I am not disgusted in any way. A lot of people look at that and be like, "Oh, he's disgusted." No, not here. The snobbery here is true. It's okay for you to like whatever you like, but
Just means I'm wrong.
it's so fucking odd that you said Murder Mystery 2, but it's absurd too, and that's what we do here. So I love you for it. All right,
I embrace it.
my number 9 is Creed 3.
Okay.
I think it was one of the best movies of the year. And completely debunks, except for T2, my in the top 10 movies of the year list, unless the movies the years that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. What's your number 8? Can't
The
wait to
Mill.
see it. The Mill is a good one. The Mill is a good one. And again, that's see like is on the same par with Murder Mystery 2 is it's like none of the movies you said come near. And I saw The Mill and I saw Murder Mystery 2, and I'm like, neither of them come near my top 10. And I feel like so shitty about it, but at the same time, I feel justified to be like, listen, Rotten Tomatoes, I guess, agrees with me, but whatever.
Yeah.
So like I'm just messing around. So I'm being extra snobbish today. So
like
but number 8. Okay, so number 8. All right. The Mill, but The Mill's a good movie. I definitely want to make it aware. Like people
I
should
just didn't
watch.
expect it with Hulu. I think that's really what made it shine so much is that Hulu horror movies or psychologicals are kind of They're like twos at best usually.
Yeah.
And this one just threw me off and kept my attention the whole time. And
They're
it really was like 7 or 8.
Hulu's 1 out of every 5 is a gem.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of horror movies. And I got to give them
Wow.
credit for that. I don't fault them. And they're all interesting and original. They all look pretty. They're packaged pretty. But yeah, like it's almost like a filmmaking mill. But The Mill was maybe that's their secret. Maybe that's how they pump out all these horror movies. They just have celebrities walking on The Mill. All right. Anyway, go watch that movie. Paul's right. My number 8 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Thought it was great. I do want to honorable mention one, Elemental. I think everybody should go check that out. It's not on my top 10, but I think everybody should check out that movie. I think it got a bum rap. So
I did.
yeah.
I feel like I haven't heard enough parents talk about it or, I have my kid. Anyway, I agree with you.
Yeah, but I think it was a good one for families. I think parents will really love it too.
Yep.
And it's special to me because came out Father's Day weekend, and my son took me. Like he picked the movie out, he bought the tickets, he took me. He and I went and we watched this movie together, and it was all like, I want you to watch this with me at this time. Like so, like it's always going to be a special movie
so
that
cool.
for me. But
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I love it. So like that, and it's such a good movie. So like I was bummed that it just didn't do well. Number 7.
Hell House Origins.
So you just want full on horror with everything, right?
Oh, it's always going to make my top list. It doesn't matter, even if it's.
Well, yeah, I mean, it still works because Murder Mystery 2 was horrible. So no, I love it though. Listen, that's your thing, and that's why I love you doing this with me. My number 7 was Poor Things.
Okay.
I'm telling you, check it out. It was fantastic.
I want to.
You're gonna
wrote
have a
it
good
down.
time with it. My 5 is gonna throw everybody off, but number 6
is Knock at the Cabin.
Okay, sweet. That's a good one. We talked about it. It was just fantastically done. I think M. Night Shyamalan really, like, again, where we were talking about Robert Rodriguez with Hypnotic, and I forget the other one we were discussing, the director, like one of my favorites, like just kind of veered off. This one, M. Night Shyamalan, where he did veer off that time, I feel like is coming back slowly with like just intriguing. Like he doesn't need the twist, he doesn't need all that. It's just intriguing stuff, and I always felt like he had that in him.
Right.
But yeah, it just like I think the studios got their grasp and was like, we need a twist in everything, or nobody's gonna love it. And that's what ruined it. But anyway, I think that, and honestly, like you and I could probably have a conversation just on this show one time about why I think The Sixth Sense ruined movies going forward.
Absolutely could.
you know how they say, like, all right, life changed after certain events. So like 9/11, our lives significantly changed in how we live them. And it had to. And then of course COVID is the same. Our lives have significantly changed. In movies, I have my own personal, like, when this happened, our movies changed forever. Like, it's not the same as it was. Like, yeah, you're going to get a lot of like cycling and repeats and stuff and remakes, and the stories are never fully going to change. But like, that fucked a lot. That's like that life change. Like, okay, this is fucked, and this is now a trend. This is how movies are. Yeah, I could argue that for a very long time, but yeah, so that's one of them. We'll go over some others, but yes. So M. Night Shyamalan's not the Calvin good one. Number 6 for me is American Fiction. Very well done movie. Jeffrey Wright is fantastic in it. And he almost made. Oh no, he did make my list. Okay, what's your number 5?
Saw 10.
Saw 10. I haven't seen it yet. So on your list, huh? That good?
Yeah, I thought it's right up there because I mean I know it's not chronological, but I put it right there after the first one because I love Saw 1. This would probably be my second runner up before 2 or 3. I thought they brought it back and made it really good. And I like an origin story, so it was kind of nice, kind of filling in some of the gaps.
Yeah. My number, sorry, I was like looking for my list, but also I was getting a message from somebody. My number 5 is Poison. Okay. So Netflix did this very cool thing. I love Wes Anderson, and it didn't make my list because it's not one of his stronger movies, but I do love Asteroid City, which came out this year. Yeah, again, it would probably be in my top 50 of the year, maybe. I'm not quite sure where, but just it was not going to make my top 10.
Absolutely.
This Wes Anderson film did make my top 10, and it's actually a short film. It's the only short film on my list, I think. And the thing is, it's Wes Anderson and Netflix got together, and in September for Roald Dahl, they were doing Roald Dahl stories, and Wes Anderson was making them. So he did 4 different stories, and the first 3 were like 15 minutes, and then the last one was like 45 minutes. That was Poison. Stars Benedict Cumberbatch. Was it Cal Patel? He was no, not Cal Patel. That's Cal Penn. He was the star of what is it? Indian actor. He was on The Newsroom. I can't think of his name, but he was in it. He was fantastic in this too. Ben Kingsley's in it. And they're telling the stories about a man who went to sleep, in his bed in India, and there was he saw a poisonous snake come into the bed and fall asleep on his chest. And he's been like laying there paralyzed because it's he's got the venom and he doesn't want to get bit. And like his partner and doctor, it's all like a haphazard comedy that plays through like a play. Really well done, really well told. All of the Roald Dahl stories they told throughout were good ones. This was the best one by far, and I think it deserves to be on my best movies list. So it's funny that his short film over his like big film of the year.
Right.
What is your number 4?
Haunted Mansion.
Oh, I love that movie. I
Absolutely.
don't understand the hate.
Nope.
I
don't get it.
You hated the original, and I get your argument about it. And I still like the original movie.
Right.
I was like, it's not great, but I was like, I like it. And I wouldn't, I definitely understand why people didn't like it. But this one, I'm like, this was fun.
So much fun. For all ages. Like I ain't got kids, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like I'll put that on once a week almost.
I will definitely
to a background. Yeah.
And that's going to be on my list. For like going forward, like watching that over again. I think that was a good one. So that's a great addition. 9 number 4 is Past Lives. It's foreign film, fantastic. If it's not on, I'm surprised it's not number one, but the next three really left a huge impression on me. So, but it's Past Lives. If you haven't watch it for sure. You like that? Yeah. I think you were the one that told me about it too.
I did.
Yeah. So
it's my number 3.
Oh, very sweet, very sweet. All right, number 3. It's a great movie. I don't want to give anything away though, because that's a really good movie. People should watch. Number 3 for me was Dream Scenario. I watched that a day ago, and it's on my top 10 list of the year at number 3. It deserves it. Give that man the Oscar. It's amazing. Oh, I love it so much. And this isn't a Nick Cage bias. Watch the movie and you'll see. You jerks. No. All right. We got number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me was Talk to Me.
Okay. Damn, you are all horror. This is like Paul's normal list is top 10 horror with murder mystery. There's no other horror movie you could fit in there over murder mystery. None.
I mean, I could have squeezed
what's number 11 on your list? What's number 11?
Oh, where did I write my extra ones?
I just want one.
Scream 6. It was Scream 6.
Okay. Can I ask you something? If I was over your house right now and I was like, dude, and I had 2 DVDs in my hand and I was like, dude, let's watch what? Murder Mystery 2 or let's watch Scream 6? What are you choosing?
I'd probably choose Murder Mystery 2 because we're both going to be inebriated, man. It's going to be funnier.
It's not, because if we want funny, we'll watch Roadhouse or Super Troopers or some weird shit like that. You're like all about like Murder Mystery 2. Not even the first one. So we're inebriated and we want to laugh. You're saying you wouldn't even choose the first Murder Mystery.
The first one for sure. That's not on the table though. You said 2023. Why you hate Sandler so much?
I don't hate Sandler. I like Sandler when he's actually genuine, not like selling it. Like when he's making his carbon copies, no, I'm not in. And he knows what I mean. Those are his cash grabs. Hubie Halloween. Sure, whatever.
I think you dogged me last year for that. You're like,
it's fine, it's fun, whatever. But it's not on my top. Again, it's one of those ones that float. It's just like I don't even think you're good enough to be on a list. So, or bad enough to be on a list. So, all right, whatever. Fucking Adam Sandler love. So talk to me. You love the horror. Yeah. Mine is arguably a horror too, but I would hardcore argue a drama. And that is Godzilla -1.
I still need to watch it. I'm dying to see it.
God, watch this movie, people. Watch this movie. God, I love it. So, yeah, I can't. I don't want to give anything away. Godzilla's in it. It's cool. It's fucking amazing. I think it's probably the best Godzilla movie ever made. I can't believe this. I mean, because I love Gojira, but anyway, go. You go. What's number 1?
Number 1 was the Hunger Games Songbird. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, you're done. You're done. You're out of here. All right, the Hunger Games. First of all, 2 sequels. You finished off with a sequel at number 1.
Prequel. It's completely different. It's not even a sequel. It's a prequel.
Oh my god. Different. It's still in the wills. It
was so good. You still haven't seen it yet. It was so good.
It's still.
You need to see it.
Hunger Games, dude. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit mixed with the fucking Sound of Music. That's what it is. Am I right or am I wrong?
I like the music better for Hunger Games. I'm just saying. I know the songs were
fine.
Cool.
I don't blame you. But it didn't have Julie Andrews, who's a fucking goddamn treasure. I may hate the Sound of Music, but I'm not an idiot. I love Julie Andrews. And Christopher Plummer was such a badass. But anyway, I can't believe that you're number 1. What's your number 12 on your list? What comes after Scream 6?
Guardians 3.
I haven't even seen Songbird bullshit, and I bet you Guardians is better. And that didn't even make my top 10. That didn't even make my top 10, and I can guarantee it's better than the Songbird bullshit. Dude, the Hunger Games movies have no business being as long as Oppenheimer. No.
I thought it was good.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
I bought that movie last week, Mick. I probably watched it 6 times at least in the last 7 days.
A Martin Scorsese movie didn't make it on my top 10 list. A Martin
Same.
Scorsese movie. A Christopher Nolan movie didn't make it on my top 10 list. And you're over here peddling this bullshit with the fucking songbirds and the firebirds and whatever the hell else they do in there. Oh my God. I fucking hate the Hunger Games. It's
I'm gonna
bullshit.
watch that movie with you just to see how you're at.
I swear to God, I'm not watching this fucking movie.
Why? You don't like that? That's a whole.
I'm not going to hate on it, whatever. I'm sure people liked it, whatever.
Oh, they hated it in theater. Like it did shit in theater. No, like I'm like one of the few that actually liked it. I feel like.
Oh my God.
No one else did.
Oh my God. Do you just get furious when you find out that at Carolina Fear Fest they have good actors there? Are you like, I don't watch those movies?
Yeah. What's
I want
this?
the shitty actors. Give me the shitty ones.
What's Camp Sleepaway? I don't know any of these movies. Yeah, you're right.
I love it.
Who's Slasher 15? I don't know any of these guys. Like, what's happening?
No, you don't besmirch their name with your murder mystery bullshit. My number one, fucking songbirds. The Creator. Best fucking movie of the year.
To whom?
To everyone. Everyone who didn't watch this movie yet. I guarantee you, when this movie comes out on fucking streaming, everyone's gonna be like, how does this movie not win every fucking award?
I think it released on Prime today or yesterday or something.
Good. It's good. I guarantee it's gonna come. It's gonna make people come with how beautiful it is. I realized I said it.
I was so disappointed with that movie. I'm not gonna lie. How you feel about me with Murder Mystery 2, I feel that way about The Creator.
Fuck you. What do you mean you're disappointed? I'm
bored.
So mad at you right now.
Put that on, and we
You're
were like
bored. You're
like,
okay.
An hour and a half in, we were like, how much is
solving
left?
a mystery?
Click. How much is left?
Click my ass. That movie from beginning to end, I'm like, this is thrilling. And the science fiction elements of it is brilliant. My number one film of the year. You're coming at me with Rachel Ziegler singing songs to fucking tall blonde guy, to basically me in high school. Yeah, dude, calm down. Calm down.
I'd rather read porn in Braille than watch that movie again.
You sick fuck. You sick fuck. I disagree with you. And I'm happy to disagree with you.
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
Fuck you.
But it wasn't that good.
Dude, 90% of the movies on your list nobody heard of.
That's true.
And I love it. I love it.
Should have.
You're right. You're right. And that includes The Creator. So
yeah.
That concludes our list. So that's our top 10 list 2024. Welcome to the Scene Snobs.
The book is shut now.
All right. You ready to get into these reviews?
Yeah, I can only review one of them because I still haven't had a chance to watch Dream Scenario.
That's all right. I'll tell you what a good movie is. Let's do this. So here we are, everybody. We're reviewing Leave the World Behind and Dream Scenario. And I am going to start off with Dream Scenario because you haven't seen it. And I might as well just get that away so we can get into Leave the World Behind. So Dream Scenario is the story. Nick Cage plays a professor in the movie who it really is like a professor of like biology in some sort. Like he studies ants mostly and like the patterns, the scientific patterns of them, and teaches them in the school. No, college, I should say. And he's just a very not interesting guy. Like he's just, there's nothing interesting about him. Nobody really finds him that way. He's married, has kids. It's just kind of a droll life for him as it picks up. And then little by little, people are coming up to him. They're starting to recognize him. They're finding that he's in all of their dreams. Now, it's not actually him. He's not controlling anything. There's nothing happening. Nothing nefarious is happening from him. He's just showing up in people's dreams. And a lot of times it starts out where, he's just there. Doesn't say anything, just kind of walks. It's just kind of peculiar. He's not a force of evil. He's not a force of good. He's just there in the background. And people are telling their stories. And as he gains prominence in this, it starts to see like he's saving people and he becomes heroic and he's kind of living the life and he's gaining that viral popularity. And then like things take a turn for worse and some bad things start to happen and nightmares start to occur. And Paul, Nicolas Cage character in the movie, starts to get blamed for those. He said his life is completely devastated. He starts to get canceled in so many fashions. There's a great allegory for cancel culture that doesn't knock it, but at the same time asks, when does it go too far? There's some heartbreaking scenes in this. Nicolas Cage throughout delivers. The entire cast delivers. It is just truly a fantastic movie. And my rating for this movie is, oh, nope, that's not it. Dream Scenario is 4.5 out of 5 mics. I just thought it was truly fantastic. I think everybody should watch this movie, and I hope he wins the award for it. So that is my review of Dream Scenario. So, Paul, how about we get into Leave the World Behind?
Do it.
All right. Leave the World Behind tells the story of a family with Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke at the leads who want to kind of get away from life for a little while from the big city. So she books a house, it's like an Airbnb type of thing. She rents the house and for a weekend just to get away out by the beach in Long Island. And things take a weird turn when power starts to go out, signal starts to get lost. And then the family that owns the house, played by Mahershala Ali, Mayala, come back, and they need to stay there because there are some rather strange occurrences happening back in the city. As we unfold, we see an apocalyptic event is occurring, and we're following these two families that are strangers in this house together, trying to make sense of it all. So, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought they did a really good job with it. I usually am not a huge fan of Julia Roberts in drama movies.
Okay.
I think she nailed this. A lot of people are giving her issues with like how she plays the character, but because she plays like this very standoffish character.
Mm-hmm.
But I got that. I understood. Like
Yeah.
to me, that was like I get it, and especially when she gives that speech at the end about how she deals with people all the time. And she sees the worst of humanity for the most part through her work. And that's why she's just so untrusting. But to also see it juxtaposed by like when she starts to connect with the GH character and such, Mahershala Ali's character. I really like that. And Ethan Hawke gave a great performance. All the kids were fantastic. What's your take on it? What did you think?
I thought it was way too long for what it was. I thought they should have condensed down to about an hour and a half. Maybe 2 hours, but we'll say an hour and a half. I thought production value was very high. It looked good. They obviously have a great cast, like you said, and everyone acted appropriately. I hated the ending. So like I thought it was like this whole big build that just kind of it didn't like just kind of plateaued off for me. So for me at least, I only gave it about a 5 out of 10. Just because that ending really just it left it kind of too open. I mean, just for what it was, because I like my end of the world movies to either the world's ending or it's not, or this is what it is, like Cabin in the Woods. All right, cool. That thing's coming out to end the world, Armageddon. Okay, they saved the planet, the asteroid's gone, we're good. I don't like it when it's like, oh well, we don't know if it's are we doing spoilers?
You can. So let's just throw out spoiler alert, everybody.
Yes. I just didn't like how it was like it could be our government, it could be someone else's government. We still don't know 100%. This and that, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Okay. Can I throw something out there to that just from a different point of view?
Mm-hmm.
Is that's what I loved about the movie. I love that the misinformation that's happening. We are experiencing everything they're experiencing. Truly, like, and that's what I loved about it, is because like I'm asking those questions too, like, well, what the hell is this? So it's like I guess they're playing it off as like a Middle Eastern attack, or
right.
And then when you hear about like, oh, it's saying Korean over there, blah blah blah, it's like, so who is it? You're right. Like, who?
Right.
Is this population control? Is this actually the end? Is this these other countries? It's confusing and it's scary. So it added that element of fear for me throughout, because it's like, what is happening? Because the big things that are happening, like the sounds, like the deer showing up because it's so ominous. the like when he gets bit and like he start like why is he getting so sick?
Right.
And was it the bite or was it the sound? Because they said like the sound could make you lose your teeth.
Right.
So now it's like, was it the bite? So like, what
Right.
are you questioning? Every element is questioned. So we're always in the dark, just as they are. And that's why it worked for me. It made me focus on the actual story. It made me focus on them. And that drew me in more,
Okay.
like her, like, and I think it's perfectly visually captured. The whole movie for me, when you think about it that way, was encapsulated by the oil tanker scene.
Right. Yeah. That daughter.
That oil tanker, when you first see it, you're like, oh, that's cool. That's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But her and it locking eyes and going back and forth between them. And when it gets so close and you're like, oh my God, they built that up perfect. It was almost like on a level of like what I saw in Knock at the Cabin in the tension building. But it perfectly told, like that was like almost like a through line to this whole story. So yeah, I love that portion of it. But yes. All right. What and another element to me was not just that, but was how each character portrayed like who they are was really like Paul. I think Ethan Hawke's character name was Paul. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. He was like a media teacher. Right. So like when they lost the media, he didn't know what to do. Right. I loved it. Like he was so like just questions, just like, well, what do you think about it? Because like he can't imagine a world without getting his information from the media or not getting any information at all. And I thought his character really was like probably the best for me, especially when he gave that plea to his father, to the Kevin Bacon as a father,
right,
for his son.
Right.
I was like, don't sleep on Ethan Hawke's character here. Like I think a lot of people were because Julia Roberts and Mahershala Ali going head to head were fantastic. And the same with Myha'la too, the young woman in it who played the daughter. She was fierce and she did great in the movie.
She was sharp.
For sure. So what was your rating for the movie?
About probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. Right around there.
Very cool. And next time Paul's on, I will make sure to get your rating beforehand so I can add it. But mine was, of course, oh no, that's Dream Scenario. The World Behind, I got these mixed up again. 3.5 out of 5. So I think right around the same we feel about it. Like they're both very good movies, but yeah, I just overall was like, yeah. All right, well, let's move on. So we got a mix. This is the final mixed movie pick for the year 2023. And those were the final 2 reviews. Hopefully you guys like them. So this comes from 1996, and it's the movie City Hall. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of a intense thriller. I really like it. John Cusack plays a great role. I think Al Pacino is underrated in this movie as the corrupt mayor. And yeah, just the whole cast kind of rounds out really well with Bridget Fonda and more. So I really like this movie. I think for 1996, it was a good testament to like the times and such, those political thrillers that we were seeing. So, but I that's my recommendation. I think check it out and let me know what you guys think. So that's my mixed movie pick for the year of 2023. Next year will be 2024. Paul, before we leave, final thoughts for the year?
It's been a hell of a year. I'm just ready for whatever comes next year, and let's make it happen.
Well, I'm going to try and be inspiring for a second if I can, people. It is the end of the year, and this hasn't been a very inspiring year for me. It's been a tough year, actually. Lots of stuff going on in my life outside of this that have affected this. Then there's also stuff that happened within this that affected my outside of my life. I think elephant in the room, Casey leaving, lots of other elements, in my personal life that invaded too. So when I look back at 2023, I look back at a lot of hardships, and that it can bring me down. But one thing that really kind of shined through a lot when I start trying to think more positively about things is through these tough times, I was really able to see who my friends were. And not just friends, but like the people who really cared about me and come together with, and it filled my heart with a lot of joy. A lot of good people from the past, from the present, and just blooming, really stepped up and showed loyalty, showed friendship for me when I didn't know it was really there. Paul being one of them, for sure. You're on that list, and that means the world to me. I think you guys like don't know how much I like. Our whole thing here is like, what's the strongest ship in the fleet? Friendship. That's like what this is built on. Not just the absurdity that all stems from it, because I'm absurd, but friendship is really what it's all about. Whether it's friendship with, your family. I mean, your wife should be your best friend. And I found that too throughout the year. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. I lost my best friend in 25 years a couple of years ago, and it still haunts me to this day. There's still grieving there, and it's going to be forever. That was my brother. But this year, it kind of, through all the tough times and everything, even tough times with my wife, I found my friendship with her. And then I found my friendship through like people like Paul, and I found friendships like through so many of you out there. Sturdy was on earlier, things like that. So it strengthens my resolve of like going forward. The people that are there for me, the people who have my back, the people who I hope know I want to have their back too. And I heard a great quote, and I want to share it with you guys. And this comes to the friends who may be feeling like, I can't go to them. I don't want to burden them. I don't want to do that. And this is true. This is very, very true. It's not my original thought, but having thought back on such great friendships in my life, and how I've been able to be a friend to them, and they were friends to me. Do not look at burdening your friends with your problems. It's never a burden. If they are your true friend, then they will look at it as an honor for a chance to help you through your tough times. So think about that. And the people you are closest to, and that's why I had brought up my wife, and I had brought up, other friends and such. They helped me through, and they want that honor to help a friend through those tough times. And I've had that so many times with so many wonderful people. And I try to extend that. That's what the whole Snob Nation is built on. So, and even people who like sheep that may have strayed from the flock and I may not be close with, does not mean I don't think about them. Does not mean I don't wish them well. I don't hate anyone. I don't want anyone to do poorly. Yes, even all, some of you out there, and I think some of them know who I'm talking about. Like, I do care about you. I do love you. And I do hope you, all good things for you. And that's what you should be doing as a friend. If you got to make amends with somebody, make amends with them. If you have to walk away from something to better yourself, do it. If you have to change parts of yourself to strengthen the bond with somebody, do it. Whatever you got to do, because it is an honor to be somebody's friend when it is true friendship, true love, true connection between people where they just want to be loyal and take care of each other and have a good time and not burden each other. The true burden would be not want to be there for your friend. So that's what I'm going to go into 2024. Let's be better friends about it. Let's make a better community by being there for each other, which is the best part about that movie, Leave the World Behind. The whole point is we should be friends in the face of adversity, not strangers. All right. That is my final note. If it actually made coherent sense or was good, I don't know. You tell me. I want to say thank you for the last show of 2023. I want to thank producer Paul for being here. Love you, buddy. And you're always welcome back anytime you want to be on. He's a great co-host.
Try my best.
You're doing great, buddy. I want to thank all of you for a spectacular year of support, love, and everything in between. I can't wait to go into 2024 with you, strengthened with new resolve and trying to do better in the world and build a great community. So let's keep going. If you guys want to join up on the Patreon, please do. There's a free tier. There are paid tiers if you want to support the show. We truly appreciate it. Also, like Paul with the Horror Snob shirt and other merch we have, you can go check out snobsmerch.com. These are the pitches. Use snobs for a promo code to get 10% off your order. Thank you guys again. Thank you for the and Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Stay classy. And I guess I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.